been kind of a hit today. I saw the dialogue today, and man, it was going crazy. But the question was: Are men eager to have sex, or are women just giving it up too easily? Are men eager to have sex, or are women just giving it up too easily? I see Tawana laughing over there.
You know, I gotta mute these questions because y'all, you got me up with these questions today, Jr.
Hey, we just got to be real, man. It's stuff that comes up every day, right?
I
We got
feel
to
like I
talk
need
about
to
it.
go on. I need to find the person that posted it and give them a little bit of credit while I'm at it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I find it, but y'all can go ahead while I'm finding it.
Next, let me start with you. Are men eager to have sex, or are women just giving
Yes.
it up too easily?
I'm not gonna even like let you finish the second part. Yeah, men are eager to have sex, but the thing is, hey, women are too. So the thing is, you know how I am. This is not a one-sided debate. Women are equally as eager. We may have a different approach on how we go about it, but folks are eager. Now the thing is, are people willing to give it up more? I think both parties are. The thing is, I don't think that going back to us kind of breaking away from this historical tradition, I don't think we're looking at it from the aspect of, oh, I got to be married or I got to be committed. I think casual sex is more of an acceptable thing, is no longer taboo. I mean, remember back in the day, folks would say like, oh, well, if you're a woman, you got to wait, 3 months until I give it. I don't even think that no one doesn't even live by that creed anymore. The thing is like, hey, if you want to do this, cool, let's do it. So I think this twofold. Men are eager to have sex, but at the same time, I think women are equally as eager because right now it's socially acceptable in order for people to have casual sex, and it's just something to do, and then we move on from it.
Tawana, coming to you. Are men eager to have sex, or are women just giving it up too easily?
I have a hard time answering this question because, like,
Everybody want to be
Don't
politically
worry, we
correct
won't
today.
judge, Tawana. You're speaking in general sense, not you as Tawana.
no, I know, but I'm not even thinking about me personally. Like, so if it was me personally, I probably could answer this better. But like, if I'm thinking about in general, like women and how they make decisions about, it's like, how can you blame one without the other? I don't really understand how we can say, oh yeah, men are having sex too quickly with women and women are, I don't understand like how we can separate the two. But what I will say is that when people are having sex and making decisions about sex, are they even thinking about like the repercussions of their actions anymore? Do they even care? Like, okay, I could possibly get this hoe pregnant, right? Or I could possibly end up pregnant by this dude that I don't really know like that. Like, are people thinking about that when they have unprotected sex and stuff like that? I don't know if people thinking about that anymore. I feel like they think about it afterward. It's an afterthought. Like, oh, it's all about the emotion and the feeling. Like, I was just feeling like doing this, so I did it. And I mean, it's weird to me because I'm like, man, the older you get, the more you kind of be like, well, like I need to be thinking differently about the people I lay with and open my legs for. So it's not even about how quickly you do it. Cause I know people who had sex on the first date that's married and been married for 10 years. Then I know people who like wait and they ain't, the relationship didn't last. Like, so I know all these opposite ends of the spectrum. But we also know these people like Sierra and Russell, who waited until they got married and like they have this beautiful life. And I think
No, he was a simp and she was for the streets before that. But okay.
What I'm saying is people tend to glorify those things, right? Like we glorify those relationships. And I think that it's just a different perspective on, who really tells you when you should have sex with someone. I think mostly that's up to the individual. What I employ people to do is make sure that whatever decisions you make, you are comfortable with the outcome of whatever happens from that. And I'm going to give you an example. Like I was kicking it. Like I had this girlfriend and she was really beautiful. She was a beautiful, beautiful girl. And we would go out and we would hang out and I like introduced her to some friends and like this guy was really feeling her. And she came to me and she was like, hey, Tawana, you know what? Like, I just want you to know that like I have herpes. And I was like,
Okay, that was a curveball that you just threw in that story. You know what I'm saying?
So she was like, you know what? I have herpes. And she was like, listen, I just want you to know that, because this guy, I see he's all attractive and I like him, but I know that most men are not comfortable with being with me because of that. And he was all in. Like, he was asking me for her number, ready to go. Like, oh, yeah, what's this girl? And I'm like, dude, you don't even know what you asking for. So
we gotta protect our black men out here.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of like a low-key depressing story.
But and I'm not
gonna protect our black men out here, though, B Nick.
But listen,
that was not the direction I thought the outcome of the story was gonna be.
Listen, that whole entire story can go opposite, right?
I'm about to put my glasses back on.
That wasn't the type of story we were going to be talking about tonight.
But
That was like an after-school special story, like a very special episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
But I put it out there for y'all now. So now y'all need to put it in perspective.
Hey,
all right, Anton, you got to follow up on that. I don't want to.
Hey, JR, yeah. We're going to upload that to the Lapeef After Hours YouTube.
Right.
and guess what? And guess what? I told him, I was like.
There's more to the story? Oh, man. What else happened, Tawana?
He was still going. He probably would have still went if I wouldn't have said.
Well, he ain't get no choice.
Hey, is the story over? Like,
so you don't want to hear the story because y'all don't want to know.
This is really taking a lot of energy out of me. I'm a little hurt. It's not even
let's go back to men knowing your worth.
Yeah. I feel.
We talking about a whole nother situation now. Do y'all give it up too easy? And guess what? You would have gave it up to the wrong chick. Okay.
Oh man.
So be careful. I want to.
I didn't know that was the
story.
I didn't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one hit me. I'm very much.
And the fact after I'm saying, yeah, folks ready, and then you say like, guess what happens when you ready?
Oh man.
Yeah, like. All right, Anton, you up, man. You got to follow up after that.
No, B Nick, don't you do that.
Anton.
You did.
Anton, like, are men have sex or are women just giving it up too easily?
So I think both, but I think that it's partly women's fault because the value of, I don't even know how to say this word right. The value of sex from women has gone down significantly. I mean, $40 seems to be the going rate in a lot of these situations, if you just want to be absolutely honest. And I guess, that goes back to what I was saying from the men know your worth thing, because dudes like me, we don't even mess with women that ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't a thing. But then at the same time, I have to also go into some of what B Nix was saying, is because we are predators. Like, guys are hunters. We are extremely sexual creatures. It's the reason why, strip clubs exist and there's overwhelmingly more for men than there are for women. We are hunters. I would not, suggest that you hunt for the chick with herpes. However, I mean, we are hunters, bro. And so then it starts to become, well, it's just too easy to hunt now, honestly. It's so easy to hunt. And now the issue isn't even now, yo, can I get a chick or anything like that? The issue then becomes, what level of chick do I want to deal with? Is she's valuable enough to even come into my atmosphere and be around me? Because if you high value enough and you value yourself as a man, you start looking at people that devalue you, that comes into your circle and your sphere. So I say that it's both. However, there is context that needs to be added into these conversations, because very weak and low value men will take anything. They'll do anything. However, dudes that have a higher quality of life and higher standards only surround themselves with and deal with women of a certain caliber. So yeah, I do think that the value of sex for women is light, is very easy. I mean, I think that the going rate now that COVID hit might be less than $40. So
You know what? Like, I don't. I mean, I hit you with the $40.
I can't let
I
him
just-
get on that no, B Nick. What you talking about? I was kind of with you until you said the value of sex for women is low value. Have you lost your
but
complete?
that's for women that don't have any standards, is what
Yes,
I'm saying. I'm
for
saying
women
that there's
who
a
don't have
difference.
any standards. Absolutely.
Right. The
Yeah.
women that have low standards,
I
I think that
don't know.
the going rate is less, bro.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna touch the going rate for some booty right now, like topic, but I do.
I don't know a dude that leave out the house for more than like $37.
Well, I feel like
at
the
this
rules
point,
of
bro.
engagement has changed a little bit though, because I feel like, you know, like two things. So the perception of men being like, well, I think what we said, eager or whatever, basically, you know, the chase, the hunting. Men were always traditionally the hunters of going to get it, and then you play this kind of cat and mouse game of like, hey, I'm not going to give it up to you right now. I do want to give it up, but you got to wait, you got to earn it, whatever, like that. I feel like, you know, as a woman in the past, it used to be like, okay, if you give it up, oh, you a hoe, you this, you that. I feel like those terms don't hit the same. Like, no one cares about the labels of hoe, I'm this, I'm that. It's like no one cares, man or woman. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I really feel like the labels of feeling embarrassed are no longer there, and which is more socially acceptable. But I really feel like women, and this may go back to your alpha beta thing, but I feel more women really are the ones who's really calling the shots on really going to get what they want. And if they want it, cool. All right, thank you. I'll text you later, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like women are the ones who's really saying like, yeah, I want it now. Or like,
They are.
men don't
You're right.
do the song and dance. Oh, I'm going to take you to the movie. I'm going to take you out to eat. I'm going to drop you off at the crib. I'm going to pick you up. I feel like that game that folks used to play just to get booty, the game is not to be played no more. Like, hey, this is the expectation. Right. I'm trying to fuck. Okay, cool. And the thing is, it may be a different type of woman that we talking about, but I feel like there's more ownership on not necessarily just men being these hunters. Women are hunters too. So the thing is, I think it goes both ways.
I don't know, B-Nix. So, okay, wait a minute, but B-Nix, considering what you just said, do you think that women should have higher standards, which would then in turn affect how men operate under the circumstances in the current environment?
All right. Okay, standard, right? I just want to stay right there with the standard. Like, so
just wait, before you answer it, just keep in mind $37. So go. Go.
I'm gonna disregard that. But
50,
because the thing is, like, hey, if you just want to have sex, right? The thing is, like, I feel both men and women both want to have sex, right? So the thing is, I feel like it's going into the expectation, like, hey, I'm just trying to like kick it. She just trying to kick it. Cool. I feel like it's no more this game that like, oh, you got to earn this or you got to treat me to that. It may be a dinner involved or something like that, but I feel like it's both people agreeing to like, hey, there's just something for me to do. I'm just trying to do this.
I don't think
I'm just trying to have sex.
I don't think it's something
I really do.
I want to turn out
maybe, and the thing is, let's break it down too. I think this is a generational thing too. Think about it. Folks on this call, y'all, we not young like that. I feel there's a generational thing as well. And maybe I'm speaking to like another, generation, what are we, X, right? That's what's up. Generation X, where it's like you looking at it like, hey, they don't care. We
kind of in between though, B-Nix, because we right on the cusp. I think we kind of on the cusp. Some people consider us millennials and X. Yeah, it's like we right there in between both of them now.
We millennials.
We're millennials, but Xennials are the 80s babies. So the thing is, we're not like the 90s babies, but I'm talking about like the thousands. They don't care. All the standards that's why I said staying with standard. I think that folks have different standards for sex.
No, B-Nix, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know
you always
people, no.
I forgot you like an almanac. You always be knowing some shit or some research or some data or according to you are according to sources ass nigga every time.
I
You
think
always
that,
have some perspective
bro,
that no one knows
older-
about, but only you.
older people, look, it's a fact, bro. Like if you look at the news, they saying that the overwhelming majority of sexually transmitted diseases are happening in people that are above 60,
Yeah.
bro. Seriously. And
In
so,
those nursing homes and stuff. Yep. I heard
yeah,
that.
it is seriously. And then also on top of that, I see older people on their devices and moving on these dating apps and having really being way more casual, just as much as people that are younger, than people in their 20s, bro. So I'm saying I'm not sure if it's generational more than it's just the current landscape and environment of what's happening in 2020.
I give you that. So then it goes back to our original core question. Are men just more eager, or what was it, JR? Women just giving it up more?
Giving up easily.
Yeah, easier. I mean, it's, like Tawana said, you can't have one without the other. It's like, it's both. Like, everybody's willing to do this dance of having casual sex. Casual sex is not taboo. I think it's totally fine and socially acceptable to have casual sex.
And before y'all cut me off, casual sex has consequences. That's all I'm
Okay. We don't need another PSA.
Damn.
All right, we get it.
Damn.
No, don't be trying to discredit that, because
We understand, Tawana. We all do. We all understand.
So now that we have this conversation about how men need to value themselves and women also need to value ourselves, then maybe we'll start thinking about who we lay down with and how that affects us.
No, that's not what we're advocating for, because I'm not trying to mess it up for men.
That's what I'm advocating for.
I'm not advocating for that, because I feel like B-Nix, similar to B-Nix, I think that people should be able to do what they want to do.
Yeah,
However, I just think that if we want to call a spade, I'd say $37.50 is the going rate. And if that's the going rate for lower valued people, then that's cool. The only thing that I'm saying on the flip side is that if you have low value and low standards as it relates to what your requirements are, you can't then turn around and complain about that same landscape and that, oh, guys ain't, they're not gentlemen on anymore and they can't do this. I honestly believe that you can do what you want and that you get what you put out of it. If you hold yourself to a higher standard, if you have these terms and values that require men to meet certain expectations, and men can see that, certain men want that. If that's what you are, then that's what you'll attract. However, just don't complain when you very loose and loosey-goosey and whatever can happen with it. You can't then turn around and say, but men or but women.
No,
you got to say,
right.
You
and
got to
that's
say,
what,
but
Anton,
me.
you always say this about
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways, So in this regard, I agree with you. But I'm gonna actually take this to Tawana. So you being the woman.
Yeah.
So in the past, or maybe in the present, for those that's on the chat, so what was the significance of like the 6 months or the 3 months waiting? Like, not just you personally, but women. That was always a thing for women. So what was the purpose of that? Why is it not applicable now?
I think
Steve Harvey said it in his book.
I didn't read Steve Harvey's book. So I'm gonna tell you why my grandmother said that the man, let me tell you, when I was younger, she used to tell me that the woman who, keeps herself as a virgin, stays, I guess wholesome,
Fresh,
that men want. It's the one that men want. You get that. I think ultimately what people want, what people think about is being married and meeting that man who will, take you off the
I
market,
get that.
right?
That's after that goes
still
through the whole
apply?
phase, though.
And so my grandmother said that the man does not want the woman who's hoish. She used to tell me.
I get that, but I mean,
no, we don't want to marry the woman that's hoish.
We don't want to marry, and if you want to be a wife, right?
we'll see. Okay, can we?
That's what it is.
Okay, I get that point, and nothing against Grandma Lewis, but I don't know how applicable that is in 2020. That's probably, folks was probably still wearing gowns and shit to bed,
No, be
back
next.
then.
We see men marrying
and robes.
No. We see men marrying.
Not silky. I'm talking about the actual cotton.
But no. I think the spin on it.
Nowadays.
That's the anomaly. That's the anomaly. Those are the men that get money that was trash when they was younger. The change of the narrative of what your grandma was saying is that it's not that we don't want to marry the hoe. is we don't want to marry the hoe that everybody has had. That's the difference.
Right.
But you know what? I want to agree with you, Anton, but I'm gonna just take it in another direction where I give you partial credit that I just feel people don't want to get married, period. So
I don't know, bro.
I
think women want to get married, bro.
Because I'm not trying to get married, both men and women. That's just not a thing like it used to be. So because it's not a thing, that means it's free game for me to do what I want.
Especially social media. Especially with social media now.
I think that men marry women who are promiscuous all the time. I mean,
yeah.
What choice do we have?
You said it on the chat. Hey, Yay
what was that, Anton? What you say?
I said, well, what choice do we have?
I mean, we got so many women who got married who they've been sleeping. So, I mean, that whole, my grandmother whole philosophy didn't work. I mean, because obviously.
Okay.
No, it did work.
So this is the thing.
It does work for the people that abide by it. It works. But then again, if nobody abide by it, then you got to take your best. You got to take it. You got to take your.
All right.
Nope, right now, you know what we're doing right now? Hold on, B-Nix. I'm going to let you go. This is the last thing.
All right.
What we're doing right now is taking our best pick from the worst options. it's like the presidential election, bro. Like, what are our options? Do I go with Team A or Team B? Because most people feel like it's a losing scenario no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You're taking your best pick from the worst options, honestly.
No, that's so wrong. My head hurt. But that's
folks not trying to get married, but also the game, not the game, but the approach is different. Because if folks having casual sex and then we define it like, oh, this person a hoe, this person not a hoe, everybody got bodies on them now. So the thing is, how can you decide like who's a hoe if everybody got a body count? So now if everybody got a body count on them, how can you say like, oh, well, she's not a hoe and that's why?
Well, I got a solution. I got a very clear picture for that.
Oh,
so seriously, and this is the absolute truth.
Wait, what you say?
I said we marry the ones without the body count, and then we hoe around with the ones that are easily available. That's generally the narrative of men. Like, you know what? I marry the queen, but then I have her concubines on the side.
Are not honest with themselves.
It don't get no more.
Hey, Nick, what you about to say next? What you about to say next?
Everybody got a body count, bro. Like, where's the threshold of the body count? Like, you at like there's a scale. They're like, hey, you at 250. Oh, that's whole status versus bronze, silver, gold medal. And the thing is,
I guess you gotta find out if the woman even telling the truth.
Hey, you know what? Think about it. We all at a certain end. Who really sitting up here asking, so how many partners you done had? And the thing is, do you expect a realistic answer to sit up there and you spending time saying how many partners you done had? Is that even of value?
But you don't have to ask that question, B-Nix.
What is the rationale in marrying a woman that you really don't want to be with? But you go.
I didn't. So you got to misconstrue.
But you know what?
No, wait, B-Nix. Let me explain it to her.
That's so stupid.
You got it misconstrued, Tawana. Nobody said
cheat on because she's a wholesome woman, a virtuous woman in my eyes. But guess what? I really want to be with the hoe that I'm sleeping with. That's who I want to be with.
That's where you don't understand. You think it like a woman, and that's the problem. You're not paying attention. What I'm saying is not that he don't want to be with her, and not that she not awesome. And I'm speaking on behalf of all men or most men in general, not specifically. But my point is that guys cheat because guys cheat, not because of what a woman is not doing at home. So my point is, men want all the women that they can have. Wayne said it in the song. I wish I could sleep with every woman in the world. Like that was the whole song.
Marshawn said you, Anton. I'm on board with that. Marshawn,
because you're not understanding.
You him right now. He delirious right now.
If a guy is gonna cheat, it's not gonna be because of anything that the woman that what he's doing at home is not doing. Like I can control that, and on top of that, I can also validate my own wife and that she was a virgin, straight up. Like she don't know nobody but me. So if you telling me that everybody got a body count, I'll tell you that that's very much not true.
Yeah, but I mean, now I'm gonna say what you say. That's an anomaly. Like it's rare that you're gonna find
Come
like
on.
this.
Everything I do is an anomaly, B-Nix. Come on, man.
No, it is because you like. I mean,
How old would you?
it's not common.
Y'all
I
been
would say
married
that.
for how long? If you meet a woman that's 36 or 35, if you a man who meet a woman that's, you're not gonna meet no woman that's.
But see, here's the thing, though.
So
High
stop.
value.
Yeah. And
You
if I
High
do,
value.
if she is about 40 and she haven't had it, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be whack. So the thing is, it's like I might not even want it.
High value men that's on in their mid to late 30s are on the incline. Women that are in their 30s and going, their best days is behind them. That's just the truth. And that's why I say that the dynamics between men and women, listen, Tawana, I know you don't like that, but it's the truth. Women will be, no, I'm not. But you gotta let me finish explaining to you why that's the truth.
Go ahead, honey.
The most valuable thing from men is, or for women as it relates to men, is what does he do? How can he provide? All those things. That is the top of the list. Is he somebody that I could see myself with, and do I got to go to work every day, or is it my choice? How much money does he make is the highest thing that a woman can see, especially as they get older. For men, is what she looks like. So if you use those metrics, you know that a woman probably is in her best when she's in her 20s. And for men, he's on the incline because he hasn't even closely peaked to what his highest value is going to be, because he's going to continue to climb according to what he makes. And it's the truth. You don't like that, Tawana? I know you do.
I don't. I honestly, I disagree with it completely, 100%. Like 100%. I'm in total disagreement with that whole entire philosophy. I can't even like address it because I'm so disgusted.
I don't know. I wanna take this kind of like just in a slightly different direction, JR.
Go ahead.
Because I also feel we haven't talked about this, but also I feel like there's an emerging population of people who, whether you're married or in a committed relationship, they don't care either. That's also another growing group of people that just like, hey, you with somebody, okay, that's cool, but I still want it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those opportunities, maybe, I'm not saying they haven't been there in the past, but it's more socially acceptable to have a side dude or a side chick, and they cool with being the side. They actually don't want to be the main. And they willing to say, going back to, we started the conversation, like who's more eager, or women more willing to give it up, or is the man more eager? Hey, both sides, folks are more willing, again, to have casual sex, whether you in a relationship, married, separated, whatever the case is.
But that's not what women want, bro. They settle for it, but that's not what they want. Women want to be married.
I don't know.
Women want to be married, bro.
We still staying with the casual sex piece. I think that folks are okay with it. Some people don't want
Well,
to.
it only lasts so long. It only lasts so long.
Because if folks not trying to be married, so going back to that fact, that variable, if folks not really trying to be married anyway, shit, everything is fucking casual sex. In all honesty, because the outcome is not for me to marry you anyway.
But that's the thing, though, B-Nix.
If they don't
assuming that both people want to be married, but I don't think that that's the case. I think that the women are settling for not getting married, but that they do want to be married, bro.
And most women, not all, because some women don't want to be married.
That's a lie. That's
I don't know.
I know women who don't want to be married.
I think it's men and women. I think marriage is almost like
women who have been proposed to and rejected the proposals and don't want to be married.
Why?
Bruh, some people just feel like it's a headache.
Why, Tawan? Why?
So one particular case, I mean, she just felt like she was happier with her own place. Like she didn't want to like combine with someone. She just wants to kind of build her life, and she didn't mind like, you know, them doing things together, but she just wanted her separate space.
She didn't see him as high value enough. No, she would have to settle. That's what it came down to.
I don't know, because I felt like he was a high value person. But she is too, though. So they both are the lawyers. They both are, you know, good in their careers. And I just think that it's just different when when you're a woman and you feel like, you know, you have that independence and you don't need to have a man in order to bring value.
Every woman felt like they need a man.
But I
That's
don't
just the
believe.
truth.
I mean, she is with him. They just not married. She don't want to be married. I mean, I think he had to accept that she didn't want to be.
You know
married.
what? You know what's interesting though? Like, so just how I am, how I kind of may pick something that Anton says and then blow it up. But the thing is, you mentioned about the settling thing. Like, why is that also one-sided? Also, why is it that a woman has to settle, but do men settle? Because it's
Men settle because they can't.
with a woman if they settle. Men, so I mean, it's still both ways though.
Yeah.
No, because I think that the overwhelming majority of men that are starting to realize their value are not no longer aren't anymore settling because they realize that it's for the taking. Literally, like if you're up here, you in a very, very small minority of men that literally have your pick, bro. You have your pick. There is no, you know what I'm saying? I have to settle for anything. So I think that if you see a man and he said he had to settle, he not where he's supposed to be. Honestly.
I don't even think men would talk like that though about settling. I don't even think that.
I do. I know a lot of men that's baited in the mud, and I coach them, and they like, man, I just want to be with I just want to. I'm like, fam, if you don't get your head out the sand and grow up and start focusing on what you need to be taken care of and becoming a better, that's because you ain't what you supposed to be. Man up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
well, yeah, I don't
get
know
up,
them
bro.
dudes, but I think that it's a bunch of things. I think that just if we're going back, the outcome of dating really is for us to find someone, that one person that we want to be with and finding forever together. If there's like a dying interest of people looking to get married, I feel like it opens up this opportunity for folks to just have sex, because the thing is like, I think somebody mentioned in the chat, like if folks already benefiting from the privileges of marriage without being married, hey, I get preferential treatment. I get whatever I want. I get to go out to eat. I live in a house with you. I get to come and go as I please without the strings attached, because people feel like once you get married, hey, you on lockdown, your life changes. If people already getting the benefits of the perks of marriage without being married, then shoot. I don't think that people want to get married. People look at it as a financial divestment when you get married.
No,
it's almost like when you drive a car off the lot, the value goes down.
B next, you being.
I know women like that. They don't want to
B
get
next.
right now.
B next, you being too nice because it's a disparity. I think that men are protecting themselves. They don't want to have children because they don't want to be trapped, and they don't want to split half of what they made or what they've built all this time with a woman that wasn't there with them shooting in the gym. I think that there's a difference. I don't know. I personally don't know.
They don't want to have children. Women, we can.
We don't want to be
I
trapped.
want to have a child with you and have what? You know what I'm saying?
You can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, you can figure
No,
it out.
you can't.
Always.
That's why I got a vasectomy. Come holler at me.
Okay, well, I'm
you know what I'm saying? Like I got ain't no kids
if
coming
a
this way.
woman wants to do something, they will. Like, period.
Not for me.
That's why a lot of men get caught up. That's what
you're gonna be like, Anton, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna be like, bye. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be just like Kane on Menace to Society. You know I had the Jimmy on extra tight, right? Ain't gonna be no shooting with me, baby.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like, whether it's settling or lowered standards. I mean, going back to the question, I do feel like it's easier. I feel it's easier to have sex, and I can't necessarily say that it's because something that the man is doing or the woman is doing. I just feel right now that maybe it is the standard. I just think it's socially acceptable. And like you said, Anton, old and young, obviously.
Be next for president, though. Be next for president, because I feel like you hold back a lot, but that's okay.
Hey,
but think about it. We also live in a society where we look at a lot of sexualized content
too. He's coming for you. He coming for your character. I'm just gonna try to advertise. I'm not trying to instigate, but I'm just saying though, like it's about time for you to put him in his place, because I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it for you.
I'm all right with that. No, but listen.
Do that for you. I just want you to understand that he's trying to get your character now. Like,
nah, B-Nix, no, I got his back. I respect him. But all jokes aside, because honestly, I'm gonna just be for real. The overwhelming majority of everything that I said was all jokes and fun. You know what I'm saying? It was some truth in it, because I do want this to be entertaining for the people in the chat and all of that. And we appreciate y'all. But honestly, going back to my original point, I do think that the value of sex is not as high as it should be. I think that people should, because even for women, I think that sex for women is a lot more emotional than men. And we don't have that conversation. I think that, part of the connection for the overwhelming majority of the women that I've spoken with is that, they need to be emotionally connected to a man in order to even have, some women, and even for them to even have orgasms. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about the physical aspect of it. It's also the emotional part of it. And it can be enhanced based off of that emotional connection. Whereas men, sex for a lot of men is just a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to do. They can do it, not even remember your name, and felt like they had an awesome time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that people need to have the conversation based off of how valuable is this thing for us and whether or not we should have that connection, because it's more than just sex. It's a lot more than that. And I don't think people really had that conversation. They just having a conversation based off of what their desires are versus what would be best for them as a connection in general. So, and that's my all jokes aside take. You know what I'm saying?
So then
I think you bring up a good point.
That's the truth. That's like absolutely 100%.
Well, I don't know. Like, it used to be one of those, my friend will always say, like, it's like 3 type of things. Like, you fuck, you have sex, and you make love. So the thing is, because it's different aspects, like a fuck is just something to do. Sex is kind of more of a transaction, but the love piece is like, it's emotion behind it. You actually enjoy the person you're doing it with. But I think we all got different reasons on why we do what we do. For some people, it may be a transaction.
Right.
Some people may be like just for that particular moment, but somebody else may be just because it's that moment with that particular person. But the thing is, I think maybe that is kind of more one-sided toward how men look at it, the more transactional versus the emotion piece. But I think women also may look at it like, hey, I was just trying to do it with you this one time, just see how it was. And it's like, okay, I'm done.
Women get connected, like Anton said. We want that. We connected. Yeah.
Hey, B-Nex, let me ask you this. If it's dry, whose fault is it? If it's dry, whose fault is it?
2 answers. My first immediate answer, it sounds so biased. It's going to say, like, well, it's her fault. Now, that's just me off the cuff being biased, but I'm just saying initially, like, oh, well, it's her fault. But the thing is, my second answer would be like, well, that means maybe I'm not doing enough to get her excited or whatever like that. But initially, first thoughts would be like, well, you need to get your shit together. That's her fault.
She might have a medical condition.
Hey, Tawana, if it's dry, whose fault is it?
I'm gonna answer just like I answered on the post. Okay, that. One time I had some tea and it wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? Like how it was just what happened. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. Shut up. The second statement was, that sometimes he lame as hell and it's his fault. Like, period. And that's my final answer. That sometimes, it's dependent upon the situation. You can't drink tea if you don't drink water. I'm just going to give that womanly advice out there. If you drink a lot of tea, you probably need to drink some water, some like warm, water with that. That's all I'm saying. I answered that.
Anton, if it's dry, whose fault is it?
I've never been one to experience such circumstances. That's the nice way to put it. I have no idea. I'm just going to assume that if that anomaly happened, then she must got a medical condition.
So basically, you're saying it's her fault.
It gotta be.
He said it's her fault.
I'm trying to say it nice, and B-Nix just forced it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to become more like him. I'm trying to be more politically
always
correct.
Y'all fault. It's always y'all fault, unless she got a medical condition.
No, she got a medical condition.